Len Nevin here with Elite Agent Systems. Today I want to talk about Google local service ads. This is a big conversation. It's a big topic. A lot of people have asked me for some information about this. I've actually helped some people get their local service ads set up. Full disclosure, sometimes it takes a little bit to get those things ramped up. There's a lot of back and forth with Google. There's some ramp up time behind the scenes. And then I want to go over mainly what you do to keep your thing active, right? And so if we go in here, and so let's jump in the screen here real quick. Before I jump in the screen, I've been using Google local service ads for probably about a year. I've got hundreds of leads. I mean, I probably get about 50 leads a month, but I'm also running 2 different locations, both in Arizona and in Illinois. Going to be adding some additional states here soon. So I do a lot of advertising on Google from this. It builds great referral network. So I'm sending out referrals basically daily. I'm sure anybody who's at Real Broker sees my name in there all the time is thinking, what in the world, where's this guy getting all these leads to hand off? And this is it, right? Is local service ads. So, all right, let's jump in here. This is kind of a quick little kind of a preview in here. This is my Google local service ads account inside of Arizona, and it's still labeled as eXp Realty. That's where I was prior. I haven't had that changed, but the ad doesn't show it, so it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of a way it shows up on my end. But you've got to go through this verification process, and then you've got all your leads, and you can go through there and monitor those on a regular time. Once this is set up, really the only place that you really need to spend any time in here is between your leads and your profile and budget. And so for instance, like right now, I have my messaging turned off. So I'll go back and forth. I'll turn it on, turn it off, depending on just how I'm feeling. If I start to slow down, I'll turn it on, and it kind of resets the algorithm. But there's some other things you can do to reset the algorithm as well. But here's some things that I recommend is make sure all this information is accurate and correct and up to date. You've got this option under this Business Pro bio. You'd think, like, oh, good, I can write a bio. No, it's just you have to select up to 6 things inside of these preset check marks of what you can do. So that's basically what that boils down to. So just know that's not really where you can put in a bio, for instance. Your budget, I've got this set really high, as you can see. That's not accurate, but either way. My job types, I'm very particular about the type of jobs that I choose. I don't want to so I've learned through spending a lot of money and wasting a lot of money, I don't want to do property management because I can't do property management. I don't have, the proper stuff to do that. I don't care about foreclosed properties. I don't want those calls. I don't want rentals. Sorry, renters. And I don't have other checked off because I don't want just the random calls. So I'm very particular. I'll help people buy. I'll help people with new construction. I'll help first-time home buyers, luxury properties. I love relocation, and I love listings. So I'm very particular about what I've got checked off. These are very important because if somebody calls you on a rental, you can go into Google and say, look, I got a call on a rental. I clearly have this turned off. And then they'll credit you back and they won't charge you for that lead because, that happens. And I get calls for rentals all the time still, even with that checked off. So you've got to go through and you've got to argue those every once in a while. So that's those. But here's where I'm recommending, right? So Google wants you to have some photos in here. I go in here and I delete and I change these from time to time. It's just what I do. Anything you can do to update the algorithm is always going to be important. So that's one place you can do that. The other place you can do that, you can check your service areas. So like you can see I'm advertising the entire state. Now, if I find that there's a certain part of the state that I just don't want to work, I can go in here. And what's beautiful about the way this works is while I'm advertising the entire state, let's just say you can see this town right here, Sierra Vista. Let's just say I don't want to do Sierra Vista. I can add right there. I could say take off Sierra Vista, and look, you can see it reds it out. And so now anybody who's trying to look for anything in that red area will no longer see my ads. That's actually a decent price point, so I'm going to keep that in there. But there's some certain spots that as you learn, you're like, okay, I don't want that one, I don't want this one, and then you can go through there and fix those up. I have my business hours set for 24 hours a day. I find that most of my stuff comes in within business hours, so I haven't seen any abuse in that. You will see abuse in this on if you have message leads turned on. So just be cognizant that that's just going to happen when you do that. So keep that in mind right here. So that's basically about it as far as you can do as far as optimizing. There's really nothing else that you can do inside of here to do anything. So if I've got a dead Google services ad, why is that happening? And the answer is not here. The answer is not inside of Google local service ads. Your answer is inside of your Google My Business profile. So you've got to go to your Google Business profile, and that's where you optimize. This is where you make sure so that, for instance, if somebody types in, and hopefully this works out for me, if I type in Illinois realtor, I usually show up on top. Usually. Let me try. There I am. Boom. So you type in Illinois real estate agent, I'm on top. Why is that? Right? It's my Google business profile that allows me to do that. So when people click on this, now they're brought and they see to the side, this is my Google local business profile here. This isn't none of this. I can't change none of this stuff. I mean, the services, yes, reviews, all that other stuff. The photos that those are those ones that I stuck in there. So that part's true. But when you look at the overview, all this other stuff, this is pulling from my Google local services, or sorry, my Google business profile. So that's where this comes from. So this optimizing this, now obviously this is the Arizona one, enhances this search because that's where this stuff pulls from. That's what keeps this as active. That's what keeps that listed higher up. So here's a couple little tricks that I'm going to recommend that you do inside of your Google My Business profile. Is one, make sure all your information is accurate, right? And so go through this, look at this stuff. Does my website go to the right place? One thing that they've done recently, so if you go to where it says edit your business information, now you have to make sure that, like, I use the Chrome browser, so you can see I'm logged in here to be able to control this. So like if I had my personal Gmail logged in here and then this is my business, all I would see is it would look like I'm just viewing it as if I was a consumer. So you have to be logged in on your browser up here with whatever this is controlled with, so that you can edit this stuff. So edit business information. One of the things that they've recently added under contact information is your social profiles. So I'm recommending for everybody, put in your YouTube channel, have an active YouTube channel, put in your Facebook, put in your Instagram. I still got to go back in and I can add my LinkedIn, TikTok. I don't do TikTok. My Twitter. I don't do Pinterest. So these two I don't do, but LinkedIn and Twitter. So put that stuff in there. That's going to give you Google points, is what I call them, to get that going. Make sure you're asking for reviews on a regular basis. So every time you have a closing, every time you have a good interaction with a client, send them a request for a review. That's going to keep your review. That's going to keep your standing up there high. Look, I mean, even reviews from the web, because I have my Facebook connected. Look, it's saying 15 votes from Facebook, 5 out of 5. So it's pulling that information. This is just extra stuff that's enhancing what I'm doing. Now, here's the key part with you're keeping your Google business profile up to the top. So you're trying to do a combination of things. Like, so when you're trying to work, how do you work Google? You want YouTube for organic leads, YouTube for paid leads, Google local business ads, Google organic, right? So I've gone through, like, I use the Lofty platform, and I went through the entire thing in the back end to set up and optimize. And for SEO, I did all my SEO stuff so that Google recognizes it. I've put it into what they call indexing your site. So I've indexed my site. So when it's here, it's there. It all just kind of connects, right? But one of the things that Google wants to see you do here is to post. So you'll see right here, it says add update. So this is kind of like where I can do like a mini blog. Now, let's just be completely honest. This is a pain in the neck to have to log in here and do this. So how can I do this a little bit easier? Now, with Lofty, I can go in here and I can, why is it logged out? I guess we're just going to log in. So with Lofty has this thing called the Social Studio. So inside of Social Studio, I can go in here and I can add my Google local business profile, which it says add here, but look, I've already done it right here. So here's my Google business profile right here. So it's already in there. So what I can do is I could put a post together and I can say, all right, let's advertise a listing. All right, boom. So which listing are we going to market? Here's one right here. I just listed this one last week. So I'm going to advertise that one. And I could put that immediately to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It says YouTube. It's not a video, so it won't go to YouTube. It automatically turns it off. LinkedIn, Google, my business profile. So I can put this in here. Here's the information. Here's a direct link. Here's some pictures. It's already ready to go. Boom. I've just posted this to my Google local business profile. So if I click on this, we should see it pop up here. If I refresh the page, all right, give it a minute. I guess it takes a minute. So it's not that instant. So that's one way you can, push that through. Oh, there it is. So here's my updates. And 14 seconds ago, now that's up here. So you want to do this on a regular basis where you're posting stuff on here. This is, like I said, it's like a mini blog. So this is a big piece to keeping your profile active, keeping your profile being looked at. Now you can see I've got my links here. People also search for, I don't like that, but I can't do anything about that. Luckily, they find me multiple times before they find the other people. But, once again, I didn't even put in my LinkedIn profile and it found it. So that's kind of interesting. So that's good stuff. But this is where you go to do that stuff. You can edit your profile here. Like I said, it puts all your information here. Make sure your location, your hours. So once again, here I actually have regular business hours on this because it doesn't affect my actual ad. So this can remain 24. This just says how often do you want to run your ads. And then this is your actual business hours that you can put on here. I don't know what I'm going to do about all that stuff, but I can check these things off, yes or no. I'm not, I'm a no on all of these things. So there you go. And then you're good to go. So amenities, this would be if you had a place like an office. So I recommend if you have an office space where people can go and visit, make sure you update this stuff. Because what will happen is as you're running your Google local service ads, it gives Google information, sees you're active, sees you're relevant. It boosts this as people type in real estate agent in Gilbert, Arizona. They start to see that stuff. They see you more often, and then you can put that in here. Now you can do some advertising, check out your performance. This is where you would check out these photos that I put in here. So this is another spot where I recommend, putting more photos. So adding photos on a regular basis in here is going to be important. So just so you know, by adding photos into your updates, that doesn't mean that automatically opens up into here. So you just want to go through like once a month, just make it part of your checklist. You can create a Q&A section. So I haven't done that yet. It's on my to-do list. So I'm going to create a Q&A section where I can answer some basic questions. So if people find me, they can see those. Your services, those are already on here. I can edit this if I want to add a little bit more. I mean, you could see they've already got a pretty big list of stuff that you can already preset. I didn't type all this stuff out. It's just, these are all search terms that got put in here. And so I just said, okay, that's good. Let's put them in there. So Google local service ads. If you want information about setting it up, I can set that up for you. It takes me about a week or two, depending on how things go. I'll just be completely honest. It's $1,500 flat fee. I basically I have you set up some certain stuff. You share it with me, and then I run with it. And then I'll coach you on how to get everything, how to your ad set, where you want it to go. I'm going to go in. I'm going to create a campaign already for you inside of your CRM. Doesn't matter which CRM you're using. That way, as things come in, they trigger. You want to know when people are calling you. You want that to go into your CRM. There's nothing worse than getting a thing in Google and you have to click on like 3 different buttons to get to where the lead's information actually is. You want it to come in through your CRM right away. So I set that up for you. It's a pretty, I know that's a great price based on what I've seen other people do. And I'll also coach you on how to keep your pricing and your ad spend super, super low on your Google local service ad. So if you have any questions on any of this, feel free to reach out. Happy to help. Hopefully this helps you out. Even if you don't do the Google local service ads, just doing this with your Google My Business is going to make a big difference in your business. Talk soon.